Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to Coach's Corner. District play begins for the Robert E. Lee Red Raiders on Thursday night at Williams Stadium in Garland against Sachse. And Coach Darrell Piskey is with us. Of course, a couple of significant things have happened since we last met. The Crosstown Showdown this past Friday night. Red Raiders defeated John Tyler 69-38 at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium. That was certainly good for the Red Raiders. It was their first win of the year. The bad news is senior quarterback Zach Hall, the reigning American State Bank East Texas Player of the Year, injured in that ball game and out for the year. So, Coach, we'll talk about that, the good news and the bad news. Let's start off with the good news. It was a big win for you.
Yeah, the kids did good. You know, they rose to the occasion, kept their focus, didn't get involved in all the hoopla, and just played football. And so, you know, it was always good to come out on top on that one.
The bad news is you lose Zach. Talk about when it happened and how it happened.
I was on second down, you know, typical knee injury.
First half, right?
Early third. No, it was the first series of the second half.
Early third quarter.
And, you know, he had made a cut, and typical knee, you know, no collision, nothing involved. Then third down, we threw a pass, you know, and he was from the pocket, so didn't really notice it. And then fourth down, he came limping off, and really didn't know when it had happened. And then watching film on Saturday, you could see it on second down. He made a cut, and then we see him hopping on that opposite leg, and realized that was where it was.
Let's clear something up. It might be a misconception that he was injured on a punt play.
No.
Before that.
Yeah, he was hurt on second down. Hard to get injured, you know, on punt play when all he has to do is his job is just stand there,
right.
You know, and be a decoy, you know, which worked out well for us, you know, to be able to pin the punt deep. But no, he got hurt moving on second down.
How will this affect? Zach's already got, I think, 3 Division I offers. This is fixable, is it not?
Oh yeah. He'll, you know, that's what I talked to him about this morning. Is you know, he still reach all his long-term goals. Going to take work and effort, but he'll be just fine. It's fixable, and they'll go in and fix it. Got great doctors, do a great job, and he'll rehab and get ready to go.
He's a good young man.
Yeah, he is. He's going to deserve a bright future, and he's got one.
Also, the good news is that you're not devoid of talent at that spot, because the sophomore Chance Amy came in and really ran a good show for you.
Friday night. Chance did good. You know, he he misread a few, but that's going to happen until he gets, you know, he hadn't had that much game time. You know, he missed that Marshall scrimmage because of going out of town for a graduation, and so he hadn't got a whole lot of reps, but the more he gets, better he's going to be. You know, he had one little miscommunication, thought we were throwing a 90s pass, the back knew we were running zone, had a little collision there, and they scoop and score, but other than that, he'll be fine.
What skill set does he have as compared to Zach, who's really a double threat kid?
Well, and Chance is a double threat. You know, difference is Chance is not that little jitterbug like Zach is. Don't have the top end speed Zach has, but he doesn't have to. You know, he has
to. He's a bigger kid.
That's right. He's more physical. He's going to break some tackles. Where Zach's going to run around the people, you know, Chance is going to run through them. If he'll just make sure he gets positive yards, protect the football, find the open guy and throw it to him, he'll be just fine.
So you're not going to have to change the offense up.
No, it's not. We kind of tailored it more to Chance this weekend, going through our stuff. But, you know, that's what our offense is fit for. You know, it can fit different kind of people back there as long as they read what we tell them to read and do what we ask them to do.
We'll talk about Sachse here in a bit, but while all this was going on, and certainly Zach is a huge part of what you guys have done, the offense was good again. Another big night offensively, but what a start to the year for seniors Tyree Grayson and Devon Wesley. Huh?
Yeah, they you know, they're pretty good. There's a lot of weapons over there. When you look, you got those two, and then you throw in Day, and you throw Isaac Barker outside, and Mason Parker. That's right. You got Mason Parker, who's just tough as nails and plays hard. You got Dante Johnson making plays and blocking downfield. So that's a good thing for Chance, is he's got to realize we've got all this skill around me. My job is just to get it to who I need to get it to based on my read. And when it's my turn to be the guy that pulls it or keeps it, just do what I do, and he'll be fine.
Grayson is not only a good receiver, but he is maybe the fastest kid in the district.
He's
the kid they're playing Thursday night.
Duvernay.
Duvernay is pretty fast.
Yeah.
But Tyreek's as quick as anybody.
Well, Tyreek's what you want. He's that football fast. You know, he's fast in the 100. Duvernay's a 10.2 guy. Tyreek's 10.5, 10.6, somewhere in there, 10.7. But I'd rather have the football fast guy. You know, and so Tyreek, and he's really where Tyreek's improved the most to me is his hands. You know, last year he had a tendency to drop some balls and stuff, and His hands are improved tremendously. He got the onside kick the other night when JT kicked a pretty good kick, their kicker did, and Tyreek snatched it out of the air with his hands. That's the biggest improvement he's made.
And Tavon Wesley is just a quiet, hard running, good blocking, just fundamentally sound running.
Yeah, that's right. Just a football player, and he's improved his top end speed. You know, that was the knock on Tavon last year, is he's going to get caught on those long runs, and we're going to gain 30 and 40, but he's not going to go to the house. Well, this year he's proved now that he's got the speed to go to the house.
And you got, of course, you mentioned a couple of the other young men. Mason Parker is one of my favorites. He's just, he runs that jet sweep about as well as you can run it.
Yeah, just tough, you know, just tough kid, you know, good athlete, strong kid, but he just plays with that tenacity that you like him to play with on any position they play. He just plays hard.
You beat JT 69-38. Of course, JT made a lot of mistakes, and I think they'll get a lot better. But just talk about the things you liked about that game.
Well, number one, I liked the offense. You know, really liked the second half. We extended the lead versus letting that lead slip away like we did the week before. Defensively, you know, they outside of really just a couple of plays, we played a whole lot better. You know, they ran a little stop route, set route, about a 10-yard route to inside receiver. Inside backer takes an outside hip angle instead of an inside hip angle like he's supposed to, and then that guy's loose in open field, and he goes about 90 yards for a touchdown. Other than that, we fit pretty good. If you'll notice, when they got in open field, you know, everybody's wanting us to fly up there and try to kill them, but we came to balance and corral them, and everybody fit. Now we got to learn to do that same thing, but do it a little bit faster and closer to the line of scrimmage to alleviate some of that. Special teams, we got to get the ball kicked where we tell them to kick it, because that's where the coverage is predicated to go. And so we got to be able to get that fixed and get that ball kicked. If the kicker makes a mistake, then I, as a kick coverage guy, has got to make him right and fix it, which we didn't do, and gave him good field position a couple times.
Bottom line is, you know, Zach's out, and he won't come back this year. Even if you make the playoffs, he's done.
Yeah.
So everybody's got to play a little better, don't they?
Got to rise, you know, you got to rise to the occasion. Everybody's got to step their game up. You know, that's what we talk about all the time. We're a football team, not a football person, and so the team's got to rise up when one of the people are out.
It's and again, you're a group of with a lot of senior leadership. There's a bunch of seniors on this team, and now it's time for them to be seniors, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, and you can understand they were down. I mean, heck, coaches, we were down. Yeah. You know, but by Monday morning we got to be ready to roll, because Zach's not with us and Saxey is with us, and we got to get ready for Saxey with what we got and be ready to go.
And Saxey's not feeling sorry for you.
No, that's right. They don't care. You know, I know they're, you know, good people and don't, you know, not glad it happened to Zach, but they don't, you know, Friday night they don't care who's out there. They're going to try to beat our butts.
Does it change things? We'll look at the video here in a moment, but how much does it change things? You got 4 Thursday night games this year, including this week. So you have one less day to prep for the game.
Well, that's the biggest thing this week is the short preparation, because Saxey actually played last Thursday. So they got a regular old 7-day week to play on Thursday. We played on Friday, and now we got to turn and play Thursday. It shortens our week by a day, which is just part of it. Now, once we get on a Thursday, we stay on a pretty good Thursday routine here for a while. And that's the key, is you're either on a routine of Thursdays or you're on a routine of Fridays. You hate it when it's like this, one short day, especially with their offense. There's a lot to prepare for, adjustments we got to make. Kids got to be able to grasp it, and we got to do it on a short week.
JT game is a rivalry game. You win that ball game like you did. How much momentum does that generate for you?
Well, it's all, you know, it's always going to generate momentum. But now the kids, just like last year, got, you know, we talked about, and they got to realize, you know, that's our first goal. Well, that goal's over. We better get on to the second goal. If we spend too much time thinking about that first goal, we're not going to reach our second goal.
And that's making the playoffs. And again, the Red Raiders won the game over the Lions, 69-38. They're 1-2 now. But Coach, before we look at the video, I guess just a brief. It's money time now. District play starts this week.
Yeah, they all count now. I mean, every one of them count for something. We don't want to end up in the position we were last year, where we had to rely on somebody to win for us in week 10. To get us in the playoffs. We want to control our own destiny. Everybody in district's pretty excited today, because they're all 0-0, And after this week, then somebody's going to be scrambling, somebody's going to be in good shape, just have to continue it, and we want to be the ones in good shape.
Again, the Red Raiders beat JT this past Friday night, and now it's on to Sachse. Before we talk about Sachse, though, there's a lot of video to look at from the game at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium, so let's take a look at how the Red Raiders beat the Lions 69-38 on Friday night. All right, let's take a look at the highlights from the Rose City Shootout. In fact, the 60th meeting between the Lions and the Red Raiders, and here you are kicking off, Coach.
Yeah, well, that's actually offensive play there. Zach makes the right read. Dante runs a good route. Zach finds him, throws him football. Dante makes a good run with it down to about the 7.
And the score.
This is a big 4th and 1 right here. You know, guys did a good job blocking off the edge and was able to get the you'll see right there Tavon getting his guy pushed back. Tyreek getting in the end zone. That's pretty big. That's 4th and 1, first drive.
Yeah, and you want to establish something early in a game like that, right?
Defense here. Samples, actually defensive player of the game this week. Played a great football game. Use his hands, fight down the line, make a play. John had a much better game.
John's a talented young man, too.
Yeah.
And he's playing with his hand on the ground right now as opposed to playing defensive end. He's played both ways, right?
Yeah, that's right. Again, here's John Samples making a good play here, keeping pressure. The little quarterback was pretty quick, and John was able to make a play on him.
More defense?
Same play, just a tight version of it. John does a good job there. Another defensive play, guys, you know, getting after that quarterback. He's quick as a cat, so everybody kind of had to fit where they need to fit. Coach bringing pressure right here. That's Michael Dorsey grabbing that ankle and hanging on. Offensive highlight here, Tyreek. You look, you got blocking. There comes Tavon cutting off the edge. Dante out here blocking outside wide, and you do all that. That usually gives them a chance to make a play there. You got Mason Parker locked up. You got Tavon cutting his guy, and that's how you draw it up. You
talk about football speed again with pads. It's one thing to do it in a track uniform, but to do it with pads on, that's a whole different deal, isn't it? He's good.
Back on defense here. Got a little screen pass. Dorsey does a good job of coming to balance. You know, that's a pretty tough play to defend. They got guys pulling both directions, going to kind of split your defense. But Dorsey recognizes it, breaks up on it, makes a good play in open field. John's there to help him. It's where we got better. We tackled a little better in open field, took good angles, come to balance. Back on offense here. Zach makes a good read. Here's the difference in this year and last year. Tavon's not going to get caught right there.
Yeah, Tavon Wesley, and again, JT, we know they've got great speed, but he runs away.
He did a great job.
Yeah. And again, he's had an excellent start to the season. He's really playing well.
Yeah.
And back on off. This is the same play,
same
I believe?
Play,
same
a wide version than a tight version.
You know, kudos to the offensive line, too.
Yep. Those guys did good. You look at Ijuan, he's hustling his butt down there to get in front of that guy and helps out when your teammates block for you. Here's another defensive highlight. Again, Dorsey fits right. Miller's inside out. We're in good shape. Here comes a tight version of it. Calhoun there's got to set that edge a little stouter. He opened up that window, but Dorsey saw an open window and he closed it, and then Miller came inside out. Back on offense. Zach gets a low snap, keeps his presence about him. They see Zach running, they blow a coverage. Ijuan's wide open.
Zach really improved with his passing this year too, had he not?
Yeah. He you know, throws the ball well, does all that. Ijuan's a little confused what sidelines we're on, so.
He was going to the home sideline. Well, that's understandable, right?
Well, except for it cost us a penalty and put us in bad position.
Oh, really? So that's what they penalized him for, going toward the home sideline?
Yeah, he was doing his little money signs towards him. I don't guess he's ever scored a touchdown before. He acted like he hadn't. Right here, guys did a good job. Really, it looks like a big gain. I think they gained 2 yards on this, but they were in space. Now we're back on the offense. Tavon again. Zach makes a good read. Tavon around the edge there.
Did he score on that play? I'm trying to remember.
On the other one, no, and on this one, I think they called him out.
He wound up with 166 yards rushing on 14 carries.
Yeah. Here, Mikhail Sanders, seeing the quarterback better, he's starting to learn how to read and break on the quarterback's throw. Big play right before half. You know, that inside guy, outside guy sets it down. Mikhail sees it, breaks, and then actually makes the interception there. Gives us a chance to score one more touchdown right before half, which is big. This is it right here to Ajuan. Zach does a good job, and then Ajuan just makes sure he gets in the end zone. That's the last play of the half. So if he wouldn't have got in, we really didn't have time to spike it. That was second down. We talked about pre-snap. If we don't get, well, I think there's 15 seconds left or something. But Ajuan got in the end zone. This time he acted like he had scored before. He didn't have to run, show the visitors who it was. Back on defense here, John Samples again. Called his name a few times. He played a good football game. He's got to do it every week, every play. Look up tall. You know, little Braden overcoming heredity and setting that edge there.
I don't know how he's done that, but, you know, it
Mama
is what it is.
must have been a great athlete. There you go. Yeah. Right here, Zach makes a good read. Ajuan sets it down.
Tell you the rushing numbers, Coach. You had 548 yards rushing that.
Yeah, that's not bad. We'll take it every week.
Somebody's got a soft drink sitting up on the counter, I think.
Well, yeah, that's our filmer. He's new at it because he's looking at the tight angle. He don't see the wide angle, and his Coke's in the way on the wide. His chance in there now makes a good read. You look at Tavon off the edge, getting the block right there, and then, of course, Tyreek's pretty fast.
Not going to catch him there. All right.
No, that's right.
Again, Grayson on the night at 146 yards rushing, and also had 44 yards in reception.
Yeah, we're on defense here. Pretty good stop. Back on offense. That's Chance making a pull, making a read.
Now, Hall's out of the game by this time, and so Chance
that's right. Chance was in on that last touchdown.
You going to give him a quarterback's number, or you going to keep him at 28?
Oh, we wouldn't want to change his number. He might think he's somebody different. Here he is right here, makes a good throw. Ajuan makes a great catch right here on the fade ball.
Nice play.
You know, and that's the thing. Chance throws the ball well. He runs the ball well. Just got to make sure he's Chance.
That's a good throw.
Yeah, that's right. Right on the money.
You know, the Lions, Coach Holmes, the Lions play Plano the last 2 years, and they have a guy in the 20s playing quarterback.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. See.
There's Chance again getting his read and pulling it, and that's, you know, that's what he does right there. He picked up 20 yards.
Yep.
We'll be patient. You know, he don't have to go to the house. He just has to get positive yardage.
And the difference is, I mean, you know, he's a bigger guy, so he's going to be a little
run
harder
through some
maybe
arm
to break
tackles.
down.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Again, here's Chance. Little sprint draw there, and, you know, Day-Day's probably not going to get caught. That guy had a pretty good angle, but Day-Day's fast. So when you get that many guys that can, you know, take it to the house and run around that Coke bottle, it helps a lot.
Here's that play again.
Yep.
What's Day-Day Thacker added to your offense this year?
Well, just that, you know, breakaway speed, go to the house. He's also helped on defense. Just the speed. You know, last year really we had Zach that could go to the house and in the backfield, and now we got two of them. Here, defense guys, that's the hustle downfield. Doesn't look like it'd be a highlight, but the hustle downfield from the backside causes a turnover there, and we get the fumble. Same play, tight version. Got a good play. We come to balance. Here comes a guy from backside hustling. It's Noah Gale. And
a lot of hats on the ball there, too.
Noah Gale gets in there and makes that play. That's the D lineman hustling downfield on that play.
Okay. So he got the recovery. Noah Gale got the recovery?
Back to the start of the highlights here now.
All right. We'll tell you that, again, on the night, you had over 700 yards in total offense in the ball game. So You'll take that any night, won't
Every
you?
night. If we score 69, I don't care if we have 12 yards offense. But, you know, just the production was good. You know, guys did good. And Chance came in. I mean, you know, except for that one play where he read the wrong signal, everything went pretty good with him in the game.
And again, in a game that's a rivalry game and there's a lot of emotions out there, and you have to throw a young man like Amy in on such short notice to be able to do that under those conditions, that speaks well of his poise, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what we talked about this weekend. Really, you know, if it's going to happen, it's good to happen then, you know, against JT with the atmosphere and the surroundings around him, to be able to understand that he just got to focus on the job and his reads and doing what we ask him to do, and everything will work out fine.
Had a great crowd out there Friday night.
Yeah, it was good. Always is. I mean, really, that's a good week. You know, for both teams, they get to play in a really great atmosphere. Those kids do, and you know, it prepares them later on for important games and playoff games and whatnot. So it's really a lot of fun.
We talked earlier about the district. It's money time now. These 3 non-district games have all been challenging. You had that big lead over Lufkin. That was a disappointing loss and all the above. But now that you're done with that, how do you feel? How much progress did the guys make in those 3 games?
Well, they made a lot of progress. I see the defense, you know, they played pretty good against Lufkin until our entire football team decided it was over at halftime and didn't play the second half. And then last week I thought they made some more strides. You know, like I say, they all come into balance and doing a better job of fitting. They just got to do it quicker and not give them, you know, a 7-10 yard gain when it could really be a 3 yard or less gain. We got to come to the right angles. You know, that one pass I talked about earlier, just one guy taking the wrong angle. Now you got a guy with a lot of athleticism and speed in open space. We got to continue to stop that. Kicking game had been doing pretty good. Now we got to either get it kicked where we're going to, you know, tell him to kick it, or we're going to have to help him out by covering it when he screws it up. So if we'll keep getting better at those, we'll be in every game.
We obviously talked about Zach Hall's injury, and again, he's out with a knee injury. Anybody else get hurt Friday night?
No, you know, nothing out of the just normal Friday night football game. We got some bruises. You know, Zach's the only one that's not, you know, wasn't with us today.
Okay, and just again, before we talk about Saxe, Zach's recruiting will not stop. People will still – he's got, I know, 3 D1 offers. There's no reason to believe that he won't be able to play for somebody next year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, unless them guys only have half a brain. I mean, knowing that he's going to be back and be able to come back and be Zach, if I wanted him before, I'd probably still want him. You know, that's between those guys. But I would think he's going to be just fine. He just got to understand that now I'm going to have to work, get after it, get my rehab focus, and he'll be fine.
Last year you beat Saxe at Rose Stadium in what turned out to be a track meet. In fact, that might have been Zach's finest hour. He had 6 touchdowns in that game. So talk a little bit about, you know, these guys are high-powered. They're 3-0. They score a lot of points, and they've got 3 Division I guys. That was an incredible game, first of all, last year, and a big win for you, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know, kind of shocked them. We're not going to sneak up on them this year. They know we're coming. Doing it on a short week, but they're really explosive offensively. Defensively, they try to get enough stops to outscore you. They're pretty solid in the kicking game, so we'll have to do the same. We'll have to be solid in all 3 phases. Offense will have to click. You know, we got to be patient and realize that defenses, we're going to get some stops. You know, they're going to make some plays. They got the Duvernay brothers. One of them, I think, ran a 10-200 last year. He's pretty fast.
As fast as Tyreek.
Yeah, that's right. Faster in top-end speed than Tyreek. But we'll have to be patient and tackle. Offense have to be patient and understand they're going to get us some. They like to fog the fort defensively and just bring people. So we'll have to be patient. No, they're going to get us some. But if we'll protect the football, tackle on defense, and just execute in the special teams, at the end of the game, I think we're going to have a chance to be in the game.
Who else from this district has impressed you so far in non-district play?
Well, really all of them. You know, you look around, North Garland's improved, Lakeview's improved, Rockwall's Rockwall. Their record doesn't show it, but they play some, you know, Denton Ryans and Trinities and those guys. And so it's going to be a dogfight just like it was last year. Last year I thought there was about 4 of us, maybe 5 that were pretty close. Rockwall might have been just a little ahead of us, and then the other 3 of us and 4 of us pretty tight. I think it's all tightened up now. There's not a true I'm better than everybody else front runner, but there's more teams involved in the cluster. You know, like I say, with North Garland, those guys all improving. Lakeview won last week, and it's just going to be a tighter battle. You got to be ready to go every week and don't get your damper down.
Of course, the best thing to do would be just go win them all. But on the other hand, you need 4 district wins to get in the playoffs, don't you?
Yeah, we're just going to focus on, like you talked about, we don't want to go win this first one.
Right.
Put yourself in a good position. And, like last year, we won this first one, then screwed up against Rowlett the next week. So back-to-back, we got 2 of the top 3 or 4 teams coming in, so we got to be ready.
And in this district grind, you'll have an off week in there, but pretty much week in, week out, you got a lot of travel involved. You're the only East Texas school, so you're going to the Metroplex for every home game. You kind of have to get used to that, getting a rhythm, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. That's what I say. If we can get on those Thursday routine rhythm, that's all good. It's the weeks like this first week where we're short a day of preparation, and so kids physically recuperating and us getting it all taught and doing all that. It's puts us a little tough situation, but that's just part of it.
Why so many Thursday games? You've even got 2 Thursday home games. I think I know why.
Well,
I think I know why you're playing the 2 Thursday home games, because they didn't do you any favors with your Thursday night road games. This payback, games. Basically, is it not?
Well, our stadium has some conflicts, at times, but we got to get used to that stuff, and they got to understand that's a long drive on a Thursday night. And until you experience something, kind of like our Lufkin game, we can tell them it's bad. And
so it's payback. The bottom line is payback, right?
Well, I know we got some.
We got 2 Thursday home games that didn't have to be played on Thursday night.
That out. We're just going to show up at home. Play
I hear you, though.
Night.
I mean, they've done you no favors. The Garland ISD has done you no favors.
Well, it's tough on us, and that's what I tried to tell them. Some of them wasn't real happy. Mr. Brown, he debated last year saying, hey, let's do what's right for the kids, and nobody really talked about it. Well, now this year, when they're coming over here, they were upset about it and said, let's do what's right for the kids. And what I tried to tell them is last year y'all were real quiet on this issue. Now it's about the kids. But the thing about it is we did it all 3 times last year.
Right.
They're only going to be one school doing it. But I think once they experience it, then everybody will realize if it's all possible, that guy going way over yonder needs to be doing it on Friday.
Make a point, right?
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
Right.
I hear you on that. Just the importance of being 1-0 after this first district game.
Well, it's really important. I mean, you don't want to get you back to the wall. Put yourself in a bind. If you can stay on top, it makes it a lot easier down the road. You don't have to rely on somebody else. It's in your hands, and that's how you like to have it.
All right, Coach, good luck. Again, the Red Raiders are on the road, and it's a Thursday night game. Don't wait till Friday to go to Williams Stadium in Garland. This is a Thursday, the first of 4 district Thursday night ball games, 2 at Williams Stadium in Garland and 2 at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium. And it's Sachse this week in the first game of district play. It's a 7, not a 7:30 kickoff on Thursday night, and it's at Williams Stadium in Garland. The Red Raiders were there 3 times last year. And so Robert E. Lee opens district play this week against Sachse in Garland. And Coach Piskey and the Red Raiders need and deserve your support on the road Thursday night for their district opener. For Coach Piskey and the Red Raiders, I'm Bill Coates. Thanks for joining us.